The first webinar of the webinar series start at UCL and study and live in Canada. So this is exclusive for Dalhousie University, and the 2+2 pathway is only available for Canada at UCL only at the moment. So at the moment, there are two programs that we offer, that is Bachelor of Computer Science and Bachelor of Applied Computer Science. So this is the brief agenda. So I will give you an overview of the DAL program and how it's delivered at UCL, and also the program outcomes, opportunities, and also the why you select this particular two programs and the importance of it. And Dr. Juliano will speak about the university because he's in the university right now, and the current student progress, because we have several students who has already transferred into Dalhousie, and also various other available opportunities in terms of research as well as job opportunities. And the entry requirements, and also we have certain scholarship schemas, payment details will be informed to you later after the webinar. Our marketing and the enrollment team will contact you and give you the necessary details. And also you can always contact UCL and get more details, and even you can come and meet the enrollment team for further details. So this is the only program available for Canada as a 2+2 program at the moment. So that means you can do the first 2 years in UCL, and then you transfer to Dalhousie for the next 2 years. So one of the main advantages of this program is when you get registered at UCL, same time you will be registered in Dalhousie University. So from day one, you will be a Dalhousie registered student. So that is one of the main advantages you have. So there are certain other affiliations that does not have this type of a relationship. Sometimes you may not directly enroll in that particular program in that particular university, but here from day one you will be enrolled in the Dalhousie University. So you are registered Dal student. So one of the important factors that you need to think when you select a university are the university rankings and the student composition, the strength of the university. So those are very important. So when you get the two most popular ranking systems available today, so that is Times Higher Education and QS rankings. So in Canada, this is in the top 15, and QS rankings are in top 12. So this is a top university in the world. And internationally also, you can see out of 21,000 or 20,000 odd universities, this is in between the 300 to 350 top ranked universities. So overall, these are one of the best universities that you can choose, especially when you are in Sri Lanka. And the student population, it's around 24,000. It's a big university. And you can see the number of international students. So it's almost 1/4 of the students are international students. And the representation, the global representation, it's over 115 countries. So so that means you meet various different individuals and communities. So that's another very important and rare experience that you will get. Right. So the two programs that we offer at UCL for the transfer program, 2+2 program, are computer science and applied computer science programs. So in computer science program, we go deep into the foundations of the theories and practices of computer science. And when you consider applied computer science, it has a business and management component as well. So those are the two degree programs we offer at the moment. So that is the main difference when you compare these two degree programs. But these two degree programs, when you take the curriculum and the available content for this, so this is up to the available industry standards. So that we can guarantee because and in Dalhousie, the curriculums are regularly updated, meet the industry, identify the new trends, techniques that need to be taught in these programs. So they are updating the curriculum regularly, and the exact curriculum that is available in DAL will be taught at UCL for the first 2 years. So that is the important aspect. So when you register, as I said, you will be registering in the courses which are available in Dalhousie and will be teaching according to the latest updated curriculum. Then we need to think why we choose these programs, because there are many other programs available from different universities, and so there should be some reasons. So these are the top 5 reasons that we can point out to select why we select these two programs. So this will develop the fundamentals in computing. So that is one of the main things that is required, because this is where you start your career, right? You build your knowledge, fundamentals, and you prepare yourself for the industry at the end, right? So you need to build your fundamentals. So this particular course, 2 courses, will prepare you very well for the industrial requirements. So that is one of the major things, because we have seen that there are certain available programs which lack certain aspects of the industry requirements, but it's not happening here because this is updated curriculum, and it will build your basic fundamentals which are required, and you prepare for the industry. And another important thing is you can get an accredited degree. An honors degree pathway is also there. So later on, if required, we can explain more about this particular option. So there are multiple options actually in this degree program. You can select certain specialization based on the combination of subjects that you select, based on the available trends like data science, AI, cybersecurity, and the combination of subjects and the research topics that you select with the suitable supervisors. You will gain more knowledge, and it will be very important for you to sometimes to carry out your studies into a postgraduate and even for a PhD. And the third reason, we would say it's the placement or the work experience that you gain when you do the program in DAL, right? Especially we call it as the co-placement. So in Sri Lanka, we call it as the internship. So one thing is you will get experience from the industry. You can actually work with some of the top available companies like IBM, Twitter, Oracle. So you have that option as well. So you select your specialty and apply for the relevant companies. So you can work, study, and you can balance your work as well as your studying, right? So that is another important aspect. So you will get the work permit as well. So if you are successful, you will get the work permit. So that means you can work for 1 semester and study for the next semester. So you can do it up to 3 co-op work placements are available here. And also, so you can select your research topic according to the available trends, AI, cybersecurity, blockchain, or relevant fields which are trending in the industry. And you can carry out your research by identifying a suitable professor in the Dalhousie University. So there are plenty of available experts in the Dalhousie University for you to carry out your research. And then you can be a part of a strong community, as I showed you in the statistics. So there are various different communities, activities that you can participate, research work, extracurricular activities, and also you will get support with different available if any support is required. So like that, there are many reasons. So these are the top 5 reasons that we would like to highlight why you need to select these 2 programs. Right. So then about the knowledge that you will gain would be covering almost all the available core components in computing, like software development, programming languages, operating systems, cybersecurity, machine learning, AI, game development, as well as certain mathematical knowledge is also required. So that will be also covered progressively during the period of study. So these are few. There are many. So these are some of the topics that we can highlight. Right. So as I said, there are many options that you will have, many opportunities that you will get. So one is the accreditation, honors degree, and then based on the subject combination that you select, you can get certain certifications. Apart from the degree, that would be an added advantage for you to get the certification with the current available trends, like certification in AI, certification in cybersecurity, data science, graphics and gaming. So like that, based on the subject selection, you can get your certification. That would be another added advantage for you when you specialize. So that means you have specialized and you got certification in the fields. Right. So at UCL, we have these two programs, and we cover 5 semesters at UCL, and the subjects offer, some of them are common subjects for BACS and BCS, computer science and applied computer science. Some of them are specialized for each degree program. So based on your selection, based on your preference, then you can select the subject combination, and we'll be assisting you to select the possible subject combination for you to complete this within the 2 years when you spend in UCL. Right. So those are the information and the information I can give it to you. So if you have any questions, you can ask, and we can move into Dr. Juliano. So I would like to invite Dr. Juliano to speak about the university and the opportunities, and also the current student progress who are already transferred into Dalhousie.
Yeah, of course, Samir. I was gonna say, I would say good afternoon, everyone. It's the morning for me here. Maybe that's why I'm a little bit slow and muted. Let me just bring my slide deck up. There we go. Okay. So hi, I'm Juliano. I am the director of the UCL program. I'm also a course instructor here at Dal. Unfortunately, there's a big chance if you come here, you might not be my student. I teach most first and second year courses. So you'll be taking those courses, exactly the same program delivery as Saminda said, the same slide deck, the same assessments as we use here are the ones that you folks see at UCL. Before we go, a little bit of a summary of what our students have. We have 2 students from UCL. They're graduating this year, and then the rest is graduating next. Got a couple graduating next year, and so on. It's students found a nice little community. When the first 2 came, we tried to provide them as much support as we could, because they're the pioneers, I guess, on coming in here. And now the community of the UCL students grew, and everyone is helping each other, and everyone knows each other inside the program. We had good feedback when students were here about the class structure, about the instructors that they get, and the coursework that they get. Some found work within the university, some found work outside the university for their co-op placements. I wasn't sure if we were going to be getting only students or families of students as well in the webinar. So in the end, I first want to talk about the city. That being said, you're going to be coming here. And the first thing you have to ask yourself and answer is this a place I would like to live? And I'm not from Halifax. I'm not from Canada. I'm from Brazil. And I moved here to do grad school. So it's the same question I had to answer. Is Halifax a place that I would be okay living in? I would say the Halifax is not a big city. But the Halifax Regional Municipality, which covers Halifax and the surrounding kind of municipalities, around 400,000 inhabitants. So even though by big city standards, we fall very short. Most of the city is walkable. So if you're here in this, what almost looks like an island, who knows, with global warming, we might be an island at some point. You can walk everywhere. This is usually where universities and residents, university residents and students stay as well. The city is filled with tourists in the summertime. We have a wonderful summer here, and we have a fairly mild winter for Canadian standards. I say this as we got a dump of snow yesterday, which is very uncommon for us. But we don't get frigid temperatures of -20, for example, and our summer are very moderate, around 28 degrees in the warmest day. So we have activities on the water and also a lot of green spaces around. So this is Point Pleasant Park. It's a wonderful place. It's a 10-minute walk from the university where we're by the ocean. There's a bunch of trail systems you can hike on if you want to. The university itself, it's a fairly spread university, so we don't have a single building where most of our students are. In fact, if you go back to the map here, the university, and I'm just going to bring, there we go. The university starts here on this corner, and we have buildings and campi all the way to this side. So there's the big part of the university, the main part is here, there's a medical campus here, and there's an engineering campus right here on the other end. Most of the students, however, in the UCL program will be confined, is not the best word to use, but will be kind of located within this red part here, which is the main campus where we have the Goldberg Computer Science building and a lot of other buildings that we also use to teaching. Interesting enough, most of the students don't take classes within their faculty building. Their classes are spread across the entire university. So we have both a soccer field that is used for soccer, rugby, and other field activities, and also a big, and this is an older map, I just realized that we're missing a building there, a big sports center with indoor courts and a gym and indoor pools for students. You as a Dalhousie student have access to all of these spaces as just part of being a full-time student at Dal. The computer science building is what you see here. It's where you're going to have some of your lectures, most of your labs. So if you, of course, have a lab, will be done here. There's a big study area where students can get together to study, but also get together to socialize. And we have 3 student societies inside this building. The Dalhousie Undergrad Computer Society, which was basically represents all the undergrad students. There's the Dalhousie Graduate Computer Science Society for the graduate students. And there's the Women in Tech Society, which tends to promote women in STEM fields. We are 48 research faculty, that is research faculty that do both research and teaching, and 16 full-time instructors that only focus on teaching. Saminda already mentioned this. I haven't had a peek of his presentation before, so there's a little bit of an overlap. We have 6 research clusters. So when you're doing a co-op program, which I'm going to just briefly talk about it in a second, you have the option of going out in the industry, but you also have the option of doing co-op in a research lab as an undergrad research assistant. So our big areas, and there are others, but the big areas that we have here are big data, human-machine interaction, visualization and graphics, systems, bioinformatics, and computer science and education. So most of our faculty is focused within those areas, but we also have faculty there, they do their own thing as well. So we have 2 undergraduate programs, and these are available to you at UCL. So the Bachelor of Computer Science and the Applied Computer Science. If you finish your undergrad and you decide to keep doing research and you want to stay in school, we have 4 options for graduate programs. The traditional Master's of Applied Computer Science and Doctor of Philosophy. And then we have more applied master's degrees, so these are not thesis-based, in the Master of Applied Computer Science and Masters of Digital Innovation. The Digital Innovation Master is coordinated with other faculties as well. Samin asked me to give a little bit of a brief on the co-op program. So the co-op program at Dal is not required. So if you want to come, if you decide to join the program and you say, you know what, all I want to do is research, or I want to focus on my studies and maybe try to finish earlier. It is possible. We have classes in the summer. I don't want to work. I want to try to finish my degree faster. Then you don't have to do the co-op program. However, most of those students enroll in the co-op program to get hands-on field experience. So we have up to 3 co-op placements throughout your degree. So you finish your basic cycle the first 2 years, which is done at UCL. And then in the next term, you do a job competition. And then it kind of alternates, is co-op placement, job competition, co-op placement, job competition, co-op placement, and then one last term after your last co-op placement before you graduate. Industries, our students go a little bit of everywhere. So government, tech, online business, telecom. We have a couple of game development companies here in Halifax and also in Nuremberg, which is a wonderful little city about an hour drive from here. So Ubisoft has a presence here. Red Space has a presence here. And there is a company that I just forgot their name in Nuremberg, that they're a studio that they make all the EA PGA golf games since the game first came to existence. We have energy defense contractors, so we have Lockheed Martin, Boeing, and General Dynamics here in Halifax that usually hire their students. Blue Tech, Halifax, because of our location, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit, we have a lot of blue tech industries doing research on marine propulsion, fishing, and other AI for blue tech, weather prediction, and so on. And if you're interested, we also have the agriculture campus that has co-op placements for computer science students. We have a computer science department within the agriculture campus for research within agriculture. We have past employees both in town, in province, in Canada, and in North America. So our students either stay within Nova Scotia or move or go within Canada. A lot of our students go to Toronto, Calgary, and Montreal for their co-op, but we also have students going to the US. We don't force anyone to go to a specific company. If they find a company that they're going to do a co-op, and it's, who knows, maybe they're back in Sri Lanka, as long as the company follows some of our co-op guidelines, it is considered a valid co-op experience. We have inside the faculty, we have CS-led incubators. So we have DeepSense, which is, their focus is on providing support for ocean tech industries. They focus mostly on machine learning and AI support. So they run their own student recruitment platform, and they provide co-op students for companies that required their services. And Shift Lab, which is an accelerator both for companies but also for students, where they run courses on how to use tools and technologies that will make them a better place in the workspace. We also have citywide incubators and accelerators. So there's the Port Engagement and Research Center, the PEER, which is actually where I am right now. So Saminda mentioned being a DAL. I'm right at this moment. I am in PEER. We have at PEER, there are 27 startups focused on ocean tech. I mentioned ocean tech is kind of big here in Halifax, varying from weather prediction, ship routing, and ship delayed reduction to reduce fuel, for example. And when I mention ship, I'll talk about container ships. And then we have Cove, which is across the water. That's exactly the same thing. They have 32 startups with towing sonar startups, propulsion startups, and so on. All of these companies hire co-op students to work during their work terms with them. Placements could be from doing data cleaning and machine learning training to help them do field studies and data collections and data analysis for their own equipment. This is it. I didn't want to take a lot of time. So again, as Saminda said, I'm here for questions.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Juliano. Is there any questions from the participants? We are happy to answer.
And feel free to type if you don't want to ask any microphone.
Hi, this is Sarat. Actually, hi. I
Hello.
just want this is for my son. Actually, I'm looking for a pathway, on based as you have said. Now UCL will be having the first 2 years, and the second 2 years will be in Dalhousie, isn't it? That is how it is going. So
Yes.
in Canada, how will be the accommodation and all that? So on, will it be within the campus or whether we'll have to find our own accommodation? How is going to happen?
So the way it works, DAO has student residence that students can apply to.
Yep.
There's what DAO does is it guarantees or tries to guarantee first-year student placement. But we've talked with the residence offices, and they are treating UCL students as first-year students from the resident purposes. So they will be top of the queue with all the other first-year students if they apply for Dalhousie residence. The way residence works, they are spread on campus. They're mostly on the main campus, which is where are most of the computer science students will have classes anyway. And we have shared, there's individual, there's double, and I think there's triple rooms where students can choose. They put a preference what room they want. The other option, which most students end up doing this, is that you can rent. So they would rent with roommates, either if we have two UCL students that know each other and that live together, share an apartment, they can rent.
Yep.
Or they can rent by themselves. What often happens with students is they do a term or 2 terms in residence, and then they move into their own place to have a little bit more freedom. If you're staying in residence, the advantage is you don't have to cook if you don't want to. So there's a meal hall on every residence. And students if you're staying in residence, you have to enroll in the meal plan as well. And then it basically you go in, you grab what you want to eat, you eat, and then you leave. There are kitchens as well in residence if you want to cook your own food, but you're part of the meal plan. Anyway, let me just bring here one of our residents. Let's see if I can grab it quickly.
Yes.
Let's see. There are 2 websites for that we use mostly for looking for rental properties. Okay. So just show my screen for a bit. Let me make this full screen. Okay. So one building, Lemersham Place, just to have a sense on how it works. Every resident have a foyer with mailboxes for the students. Students have the key to their mailboxes so they can receive parcels and letters. There's communal space for, this is a 4-bedroom suite. This is a new building. I haven't seen it, the pictures of the suite as well. But so this is a 3-bedroom. So there's a communal space with a half kitchen. So everything but a stove. 2-bedroom, and then this is inside the suite. You have your own little bedroom as well. There are laundry inside, so it's paid laundry either by coin or by card. So there's both washers and dryers. It's very rare you not use a dryer here. And then accessible bathrooms. Let me bring, here it is. So floor plans, if for example they're doing a suite. There's rooms, and then there is the communal space. There are other types of accommodations as well. Really got me stuck here in this floor plan. Where is it? Oh, I know why you're stuck here. There you go. So, for example, Grizzly Hall, same structure. And then we might have a single room in Grizzly, and so it's not suites. Most the older residents are not suites. They look like this. So this would be a single room. A double room would be double the space with either 2 beds or a bunk bed. And then they have big communal spaces like this one, TV lounges on every floor. that students can use, so they're not inside, that they're not bound in their room. Access to these viewing is usually using their own DAL card, so their own Dalhousie University ID is what opened the rooms. Bathrooms, either co-ed bathrooms or not, depending on the residence, on the floor you're in the residence. That means that showers are installed, and then there's a common area that all students can use. There are events on these residents as well, that their resident managers that run the events, and each residence has its own kind of set of events. For example, the older one, which is Sheriff Hall, this one, they actually do Harry Potter themed event, just because this is a very old, one of the first buildings at Dal, and then there's a big dining hall that kind of remembers the Harry Potter dining hall, and it kind of took that a little bit into their activities. I think this is so there's a library inside this one. Is that this is an interesting room, but I hope you could see the dining hall, but I can't. There's no pictures of the dining hall. Yeah, so as I mentioned, the students apply for residence. UCL students, as long as they let us know, and then we'll flag them to the resident office, they will be treated as first-year students, so they will be placed in the queue with all the other first-year students. But then there are options available outside if you want to rent as well.
Got it. Thanks for the update.
Hi. In what kind of companies international students get work placements?
So they get placed everywhere. The only rule that there is for co-op, so there's no distinction between domestic and international students for co-op. There's only one rule. That is only a few companies that have to employ, which is security clearance. If they want to work for Department of Defense, for example, they have to pass security clearance. And then depending on the company, they will not, because they're not Canadian. So you cannot do a co-op within the Canadian Armed Forces, not being a Canadian, just won't pass security clearance. But besides these very specific niche industries, there's no distinction between an international or a domestic student. We see both, as I mentioned, the company list. We see them working for telecommunications. We see students working on startups, both in blue tech and not blue tech. We have big companies such as CGI that also take our co-op students. We have seen co-op students, international co-op students doing work in, for example, Lockheed Martin and General Dynamics as defense. And then they usually go to projects that don't require security clearance. But in reality is there's no separation. What the co-op interviewer will do is will try to find the best candidate for that position, independently where they are from, because they are from Dalhousie University. That's where they look. So these positions are posted into a Dalhousie job board that only the Dal students can access. And then when the interviewers are interviewing them, they are Dal students in the end. So there's no restriction from where they could work, except if it is something like Canadian Armed Forces.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
Right. Any other questions from the participants?
This big old building, not old, is actually a pretty new building behind me, but that looks a little bit aggressive, let's put it that way. It's actually, this is our fitness center. So it's 2 stories above the ground, and there are 3 stories underneath as well, with gym, pools, and fitness rooms and so on. We also have, I didn't mention, but we have a varsity team. Students can apply for varsity teams, and then there's a tryout section every September, I think it is. And then they can join the team if they pass. This is as competitive as they will get. Soccer, hockey, there's even a sailing team for Dal. And some of these teams will have scholarships for the students.
And also some of these research that you have specified, like deep sense. So those are certain niche areas which are available in very few universities around the world, isn't it?
Yeah. DeepSense is a DAO, a computer science entity. It was created maybe 12 years ago with the goal that its mandate is to support industry by providing highly qualified students to do placements with them.
I think there are no more questions. So if there are no more questions, we can wind it up. So thank you very much for all the participants and also Dr. Juliano from joining from Dalhousie. So we'll be looking forward to have this webinar series throughout, so then we can actually engage with the prospective candidates, and so they can also join and get a clear idea about the program. So thank you very much.
Alrighty.
And okay, bye.
See you later, folks. Have a nice evening.
Okay.
Bye-bye.